Sir, we are not audible.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
sorry. Now audible actually. So I'm
Yes.
not. I'm very sorry. Uh, no issue. You continue. So in previous lecture, I'm talking about the previous class. The previous class, I will just go through in a minute that we have seen the design methodology. There are three types of methods of design, and nowadays we are going for only design of limit state method. Okay. So previously it was working in ultimate load method, but due to there are drawbacks in working in stress method, the sections are not economical. Also, the partial safety factors we are considering the adaptive, and the member sizes are very large, and hence they are uneconomical. In ultimate Eastern method, we have seen that the sections are very slender. Still, they are standing, but there are large deflections and vibrations on the structure, then they are not usable. Actually, the structure is standing, but due to the excessive deflection and excessive vibration, the term this method is not serviceable method, I think so. So not if they are failing in the serviceability condition, that's why they are. Then the designer they collect those two methods and reach a rational method. It is called a rational method, and they adopted the limit state method of design. In this, two basic limit states are there. One is the limit state of strength, and second is the limit state of serviceability. So, in a limited state of strength, you are checking the strength of that member, and in limited state of serviceability, after designing, after selecting of the member sizes, you are checking it for serviceability and durability. If it meets both the condition, then you can say that the design is safe, and you can suggest the particular member with that size and shape of the member in design. Okay, so generally design is nothing but you have to give the dimension, whatever forces or acting on the member or element, and then uh, as a structure whole you can assess their stability, etc. So this is what about the design. Also, we have discussed about the permissible stresses in working stress method, and this all the factor permissible stresses, how you can take a different condition when axial compression, bending tension, or bearing stresses. So these factor of safety you can employ when while designing the working stress method. Then limit state method, the working load multiplied by the load factor, it gives you the ultimate load. And uh, we both this method having some drawbacks, then we have come to the what is the limit state. Limit state, that is nothing but the acceptable limit for the safety and serviceability requirements before failure occur is called as limit state. And so here two parts are made, that is safety against strength, and then after we have to check for the member, we have to, or structural element we have to check for the serviceability requirement. So both requirement if fulfilled, then we can say that that is the limit state design. So this then we have seen the different factors of limit state, and then we have come across the partial safety factor for load and partial safety factor for material. So we have seen the factors of partial safety factor for load and material, that is because the load calculation is the uncertainty in the calculation. It is not related with the material safety, and material that is uh, produced and product is made in the factory. So there may be some uncertainty, and that is considered. That's why in unit state method there is two factor of safety, that is partial safety factor for load and partial safety factor for the material. Okay, there are some difference between the working stress method and limit stress method. Mostly it is asked in the examination, so you can differentiate based on the factor of safety. The factor of safety for the yield stress, allowable stresses are less than Fy, and as we have seen, we are taking some 0.67, 0.666 of the your Fy. Yeah. So that's why that is the partial safety factor. But in case of limit state method, the partial safety factor for material for yield and ultimate stress both are different. As you have seen in this table, the partial safety factor for the material, you can see a different condition. Yielding it is 1.1 and ultimate it is 1.25. So we are not randomly only taken 1.25 or something. We are taking the rationally and as per the our requirement, we are taking this factor of safety. Then the pure elastic approach for an axial structure under working load, only elasticity of the material is considered and elastic limit is considered, you can say, in the design of working stress method. Whereas in limit state method, post buckling and post yielding plays important role in estimating the capacity of structural element at limit state. Then beyond the elastic limit, also the member strength we are considering in the limit state method, that is saying here post buckling and post yielding strength also we are considering. And then deformation are evaluated at a working load. Here also the deformations are evaluated at a working load, and there is no difference, you can say, in both can administrator working stream method. The reflection or the deformation checks are based on the working load only. That should be kept in mind. So I will not allow this person because regularly is coming to late. Plus Saudagar, 25 minutes pass after 9. I will not permit such students, they are coming to late. If you are interested, you will join before the lecture. And such type of the persons, they are not allowed in the class. Then this is all about we have seen in the last class. Also the loads, various loads we have seen and their combination in this table. Previously we have seen this load combinations. You know, dead load and live load is there. The factor for dead load is 1.5. There is factor gamma f value for dead load, and then live load 1.5 based on the loading conditions. And if dead load, live load, and earthquake or wind load is there, earthquake or wind load I am saying, their factor of safety is 1.2, 1.2 and 1.2. Okay, if dead load and earthquake load is there or dead load or wind load is there, then this the zero 0.9 or for a wind load or earthquake load is 1.5 times the factor you can apply. But in case of, you can see the serviceability, the factors are different. Yeah. So only in the limited state of serviceability only we are considering the factor that is one most of time, or sometimes it is less than one. Only we are considering the working load for checking for the serviceability condition based on. So these are the load factors, partial safety factors for the load, and this table is given in IS 800 2007. In previous class I shown to you on page number 29. We can open that also if you can use that IS 800 let it be there. So all these things we have seen, and also with various deflections on table number 6 of the IS code is given, that also we will see. This is a okay. People they are coming late, I will not allow them. And different loads and loads combination you can adopt as per the IS code. Clause 5.3.1, the loads acting on the structure system has been classified in three groups. There is permanent action, permanent load, variable action, the load are variable, accidental action due to the accidental loads acting on the structure such as due to explosion, due to sudden impact, due to falling of the object, other things that will come into the picture. And permanent action due to the self-weight of the structure component, basically the dead loads are that is fixed, they are not varying, and action due to the load, the construction and service stage, all types of imposed load, wind load, earthquake load, they are not acting regularly, and also their intensity, you may say, they are varying with respect to time, that is not constant. That's why these actions are variable actions on the structural element or structure as a whole. And then load combination, as we have discussed the load factor there, we are imposing the load factor while while we are safety given in table number this your 4 is it is 1.5, you can see here. Okay. If dead load, lie load, or wind load or earthquake load is there, the factor of safety will be. So that combination we can take dead load, wind load or earthquake load. These are the four basic combinations of load. Dead load, wind load or dead load, earthquake load, anyone you can take. And dead load plus erection load is also you can take. So these are the different load combination, and we are designing the member for the worst combination of these loads. Okay, erection loads are also very high. Okay, then now we will come to the our uh, part today, that is lecture number 5, the section classification, and we will do the example also. What is the section classification, and why we need section classification? The requirement for the section properties, as per the, you can see the IS 800 2007 or IS 808 1989 or steel table, the sectional properties are given and why we are. So in IS uh, index appendix, and there also the some of the sectional properties of the member are given. Sectional properties of the member such as moment of aeration, okay, and some connection detailing and dimension of the member. These are the given at the end of the export. Yes, I said 2007. Some M, that is ZP is also given. ZP means plastic section modulus. Okay, the objective is to classify the section based on the section dimension for various load steel section and built-up section. So based on the thickness to the length or ratio, the section is classified. So this lecture outcome will be at the end of this session, lecture number 5. Whenever it will complete, you are able to understand what are the section classification. The section is classified in the different class, that is plastic, compact, semi-compact, and fourth one the cylinder. So how many classes you can observe here? First one is the plastic, second one is the compact, third one is the semi-compact, and fourth one is the cylinder section. So these are the section classification. We will see one by one. So why design of structure we need element for the classification? The structural element in axial compression, the structural element in axial compression or bending compression. Axial compression, you know the axial compression when the load is actually applied on any member, generally on the column, you are applying the member the compression, then it will tend to buckle or bend. Okay, or bending compression tend to buckle prior to yielding. So what happens when the member is, because mostly in the steel structure the members are cylinder member. सिलेंडर मेंबर किसको बोलते हैं कि जिसका जो क्रॉस सेक्शन डायमेंशन हो वो लेंथ से बहुत कम है ना. क्रॉस सेक्शन डायमेंशन किसको बोलेंगे? फॉर एग्जांपल आई विल ड्रॉ दिस इज अ बीम. So this length is 2i, and it is called as this height and width or breadth. It is called as the cross section dimension. The cross section dimension, you can see it is very small as compared to the length of your member. Okay, so this type of member, when there is the length is larger, cross section dimension is less, then that sections are called as cylinder section. So mostly in case of steel structure, because the steel having a property that its strength is very large as compared to bronze. But in case of tension, there is no such yielding is occur. If this is your member, and if you are pulling from both the end, there is extra tension is there. So there is no such bending is there because you are is going to stand on the member. Even if there is no bending is there, that will tighten when you apply the tension. So that's why when you apply the tension, then there is no such case of buckling. When you are going to compress the member, then this will happen before yielding, before yield strength of the member, the buckling or will take place. So that's why here bending and compression tend to buckle prior to yielding before yielding. To avoid this element of cross section such as width of flange, depth of breadth of I channel section, width of legs of angle sections, width of flange and legs of T section, width and height of box section need to proportion in relation with the thickness of element of the section. So as per the thickness elemental of the section or the cross section dimension of the section should be such that it will not buckle before ending. It will not buckle before it will yield. Okay, so that's why this section classification is done. And to avoid the failure or buckling of the member, buckling means it's a failure, deflection. It is a type of deflection. So when to avoid such a failure before yielding, before getting the full strength of the member, so such checking is required, and that is nothing but it is called as section classification. Okay, so I think so you can understand, and there are classification of cross section. They are based on different classes, and these classes are just above also that class 1 plastic, class 2 compact, and class 3 is semi-compact. So section is classified based on their thickness to width ratio, and that is nothing but section classification of your sections. It may be I, it may be channel, it may be angle section, it may be box section, it may be rod, etc. You can classify the section based on the table and the figures given in IS 800 2006. So this part what we are discussing, it is already given in page number 18. You can see here. You can see here the table number 2 is required when you are going to find out the section classification. That is table 2 is limit width to thickness ratio, and here also you can see the clause number 3.7.2 is visible to you, I think so. I have told you all students you should take the IS 800 2007. It is very necessary. Otherwise, you will not understand your design, because it is a guideline and this guideline is needed. Okay. So the sections are classified in 4 classes. You can see here: class 1 plastic, class 2 compact, and class 3 semi-compact. And why this is classified, you can read here one by one and you can understand. Okay, so these 3 classifications, these 3 class in corporate in your design. क्या बोल रहा हूँ मैं कि अगर आप बेहतर समझ में आएगा कि व्हाट इज दिस, इट इज विजिबल टू यू all of you, only one can reply so that I can. So my voice is clear. You are getting my voice. Anyone can reply. ओके, तो ऐसा ना हो कि मैं सिर्फ बोलते जा रहा हूँ, मुझको मालूम ही नहीं है और कनेक्शन लॉस्ट हो गया. जस्ट यू कैन इंटरैक्ट विथ मी. यस सर, नो सर, नहीं समझा सर. यू नॉट अंडरस्टैंड, यू कैन टेल मी. आई विल स्टॉप एंड आई विल रिपीट व्हाट आई एम telling to you or what I am delivering to you. Okay, so here you can see this section classification, how it is based on. We can see that this graph is visible to you, I think so. So this is moment curvature graph. It is called as moment, and there is on x-axis the curvature. So moment curvature graph is there. You can see here when the section fails much before yielding moment. You can see this is moment. My is the yield moment at the yielding. So my is nothing but your moment at the yielding. Moment at yielding. Okay, that is here written my. So when section buckle or bend or deflect before reaching to the your yield moment, then that section is called as cylinder section. So you can see here when you make the graph stress diagram, this you can see this is stress diagram. Sometime in examination it is asked. So where you can see here stress diagram, you can make like this. This is the stress diagram, and the section before reaching the yielding, it will fail. So that's why here it is written as less than Fy. That's why here written as less than Fy. And these type of sections, they are called as which type of section it is called as cylinder section. तो stress diagram cylinder section अगर आपको पूछा जाए तो you have to make the stress diagram for the cylinder section diagram what I have told you now. And if it is asked that at the moment of at the yielding, what is the stress diagram? So at the yielding, you can see here this graph is there. When the section failed at the yielding, this is your my. When the section, the maximum limit is at the yielding. So when you prepare the stress diagram for this, so this stress diagram will be like this, and the stress will be reached at the Fy, and at least they will reach at the yielding point, and that's why it is called as which type of section? This type of section is called as semi-compact section. This type of section is called as semi-compact. So from this moment curvature relation, you can easily understand what are the sectional behavior, and why this classification is done. So at least if you design the member in semi-compact limit, so you will at least reach up to the yield stress. So strength of member up to the yielding you can get. Okay, but if you design, you are considering the plastic moment capacity of the section, so above yielding, this portion is nothing but the plastic moment capacity of the section. So here it is called as what? In complex section. So when you draw the stress diagram for the complex section, I will draw here the stress diagram for the complex section. So there is some plastic moments are there. That's why this stress line, this straight line is there, and this is nothing but here the Fy, F is greater than Fy. So stress here is greater than Fy. Is greater than Fy, or you can say your moment is greater than m1. So moment of resistance, that is m, is greater than the moment at the edge. So at that time, but this section will not uh, go for the mechanism. This section, it will not go the large information, and at the MP it will fail. The MP, that plastic moment will fail. So just it will reach the plastic moment and it will fail, and there is not much elastic deformation before the failure. So that is called as, that section is called as compact section. That section is called as compact. So that's why these classes are made for a different section. है ना? तो आई थिंक सो यू आर गेटिंग और यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग दिस. आपको अगर कोई प्रॉब्लम है समझने में तो आप मुझको बोल सकते हैं. आई विल एक्सप्लेन इन हिंदी ऑल्सो इफ यू आर नॉट गेटिंग. Okay, if you are getting, then no issue. Okay, then we will come to the class 1 plastic. Why it is given as class 1? Why it is given class 1? This is nothing but our limit state method. Why we are going for limit state method? For that purpose only, to get the uh, to get the moment capacity of the structural state. Because you are saying that the structure is और होने से पहले ये आपको साइन देगा, है ना. इसके लिए हम प्लास्टिक सेक्शन जनरली डिजाइन करते हैं. इसके लिए क्या करते हैं हम लोग? जनरली प्लास्टिक सेक्शन डिजाइन. Tell your friends that you should join lecture on time, otherwise I will not accept. Okay, mostly our lectures are the first lecture, so I will allow the persons in 3-4 lectures now on forward. If the students, they will have to for 5 to 10 minutes, I will not allow. Okay, up to 10 minutes I will accept, and later on I will not accept. It doesn't mean that you will join after 10 minutes. You should, if you want to learn, you will join before that. So here you can see the class 1 plastic. So in between you are joining, you are disturbing the class, and not only you, I am disturbing your the student, they are joined before they are disturbing. So thus class 1 is the plastic, and here the plastic moment are come into the picture, and the stress diagram will be rectangular. You see the stress diagram in case of plastic section, it is, and here it is N is nothing but your MP. Here your moment is nothing but your plastic. That's why these sections are called as plastic section, and this one class 1 plastic. Okay, so this compact section you may also write down like that. That is m is greater than my, but m is less than m. So NP is greater than N, N is greater than Y. In case of semi-compact, compact element, you can write down this is the moment. Okay. So that I think so. Now you will understand what is the plastic section, what is compact section, and what is the semi-compact section and cylinder section. Okay. Any doubt you may ask. And this stress diagram, whatever I made for you, you should able to make. Stress diagram, when you ask for plastic section, the stress diagram is rectangular. For compact section, the stress diagram is some rectangular, then triangular portion is also there. Okay. semi-compact section, the stress diagram is triangular only, but here M is equal to MY. Here M is nothing but MP is greater than M is greater than MY, and here M is equal to MP. Okay. And here the cylinder section is there. Cylinder section is also the stress diagram is rectangular, but here M is less than. Okay, so this is nothing but, or you can, in terms of stress, you cannot write like this. You write on the in terms of stress, you can write if y is sorry, making the stress diagram, then you have to write down Fy. So Fy is F is less than Fy. Here F is equal to F. So F is nothing but your sigma, that is stress. So we have seen this uh, uh, the classes, class 1 plastic, the cross section which can develop a plastic hinges and have rotation capacity required for failure of the structure by formation of plastic mechanism. जैसे मैंने बोला कि mechanism develop होगा large deformation होगा before failure. So that is nothing but the formation of plastic mechanism, and the width thickness ratio of plate element shall be less than that specified under class 1 plastic in table number 2. So in table number 2 is already given, you can see here, class 1 plastic. If your section is rolled steel section, so outstanding limited compression plan, the ratio of P by TF should not be more than 9.4, should be less than 9.4. What is epsilon? E is nothing but, you can say E is nothing but under root of 250 upon Fy. Epsilon is nothing but E, that is under root of 250. Generally, our Fy will be 250, then the value of E is equal to 1. Okay, you will got this. What is the E in this? Okay, then class 2 compact, that is 10.5 E. So limit will be between in between 9.4 E and 10.4 5.5 E, then your section will be the compact section. If your B by TF ratio will be more than 10.5 E and less than 15.7 E, sorry, it is not E, epsilon, so that is nothing but semi-compact class. But if your B by TF ratio exceeds this 15.7 epsilon, then your section is cylinder section. You are not going for the cylinder section. Okay, so this is nothing but different classification of your section, and based on the width to thickness ratio, that B by T value, and the uh, B or BF, you can see here, right? The section is the B by T ratio is greater than 15.7, the section is cylinder. The B by T ratio is 15.7 greater than 10.5, then it's compact. If in between, here it is written is compact, and this one is the same. So you can do that. The compact and the semi-compact less than 10.5, greater than 5, and if plastic section is there, then the value of P by T ratio is less than 9. Similarly, in case of wave, P by T ratio, so you can come in here in table, wave of I section, if nodal axis at mid depth, so P by TW ratio, if it is less than 84 epsilon, plastic limit. If it is in between, so that is cylinder. Where is cylinder? We will do the example also on section classification, because today almost 10 minutes we are lost. So someone taken my cue. No issue. Tomorrow we will complete this and then we will proceed for the. अगर आपको कोई क्वेश्चन है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं, अदरवाइज विल स्टॉप। कोई क्वेश्चन आपको पूछना है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं, अदरवाइज विल स्टॉप। सबको समझ में आ गया? सबको समझ में आ गया आज का लेक्चर?
यस सर।
वेरी गुड। कोई क्वेश्चन है, कोई डाउट है तो आप पूछ सकते हैं। डाउट है गुलाम? उम्मीद आपको कोई डाउट है ना? ओके। आप लोग लेक्चर करते हैं, आपके फ्रेंड्स को भी आप लोग इंकरेज कीजिए ताकि दे कैन आल्सो बेनिफिट फ्रॉम द लेक्चर। आई एम रिकॉर्डिंग द लेक्चर, नो इशू, बट एट लीस्ट यू शुड encourage your friends also कि लेक्चर अच्छा हो रहा है कि नहीं लेक्चर, ये बताइए आप। आपको समझ में आ रहा है ना?
यस सर।
यस सर।
क्योंकि ऐसा नहीं कि मैं पढ़ाते जाऊं और आप बोले कि सर तो बस पढ़ाते जा रहे हैं, हमको तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। ऐसा तो नहीं हो रहा है ना?
नो सर।
नहीं सर।
तो मैं लेक्चर वैसे भी रिकॉर्ड करके अपलोड कर देता हूँ, तो आप लोग उससे बेनिफिट उठाइए। अपनी नोट्स खुद बनाइए, मैं मेरी नोट्स आपको दूंगा, है ना? लेकिन आप कोई एक बुक और आईएस कोड सामने रखिए और आपकी जो नोट्स है सिलेबस के हिसाब से खुद बनाइए, क्योंकि अपने हाथ से बनाई हुई चीज़ें जो है वो एग्ज़ाम के टाइम में याद आती हैं, तो हम उसको रिमेंबर आसानी से कर सकते हैं। है ना? किसी और ने बनाए हैं तो उतना याद नहीं रहता है, हम खुद हमारी नोट्स अगर बनाते हैं। वैसे भी डीएसएस में आपको नोटबुक एक सेपरेट बनाना ही है, तो नोटबुक में चेक करूँगा आपके ओरल से पहले। ओके, तो ओरल से पहले क्या यूनिट 1 खत्म होगा तो ही मैं चेक करूँगा कि किसने कितना नोट्स बनाया है। तो at least you are the regular ones. I'm expecting good from you, and you will score more than 141, 50 marks, inshallah. 150 marks is there. You will get full credit. You will get the above 140 marks. You will get the outstanding. Okay. Expect from all the students, my student, they will get the outstanding. So its time is over. We will stop here, and once again I will thank you for